Welcome to this Backbends and Folds yoga practice. We'll start lying down. So make your way down onto your mat. You can have your feet planted into the floor, or you can extend the legs out for a Shavasana position. This is going to be a slow and juicy stretch with no vinyasas, just really focusing on slow moving and really getting deep into that flexibility for forward folding and for back bending. Start to tune out everything else. Start to tune into yourself and to this present moment. Start to breathe in a focused way, in and out through the nose. As you inhale, drawing the air down into your belly, filling up the rib cage and chest, and then exhaling from the belly first, then the rib cage, and then the chest. Really find the discipline to stay still here. So resist any urge to fidget, to change your position, to change anything. Stay with your breath. And then you can bring your heels closer towards you. Plant down into the feet. As you inhale, begin to peel the spine up off the floor for a low bridge position. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, peel back down, one vertebra at a time. Just gently warming up the spine here. So coming up slowly again with the breath. And then down slowly, one vertebra at a time. Feel your spine moving like a chain of beads, one section at a time. We'll continue with this, really working to engage the muscles in the whole back of the body. And if you like to, you can add in some movement with the arms. So as you come up, reach the hands behind you. As you exhale and roll down, bring the hands back to the ground. A couple more. And again. Good. And then hug the knees all the way into the chest for Appanasana. Breathe down into the belly. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Massage the back into the mat. And then you can stretch your feet up towards the ceiling. You can take a towel or a strap to hold your feet up, or just hold the legs with your hands. Maybe stretch one foot closer towards you, and then the other. You can keep a bend in the knees if your hamstrings are feeling tight. If this is enough, stay here, just stretching out the backs of the legs in this supine position. If you would like to move into a plough, you're going to press the hands down into the floor and tip the legs back behind you, lifting the lower back up off the floor, keeping a bit of space between the back of the neck and the mat, avoiding looking side to side. Stay in the center, maybe even interlace the hands on the mat. Take some nice full breaths in your plough. If your feet don't reach the floor, that's okay. Just let the legs hang over the top. Staying active through your core muscles to support you. Feeling this amazing stretch down the backs of the legs. If you are more advanced and you feel quite flexible already in this position, you can also try bending the knees to come into a deaf man's pose, so the knees come outside the ears. Again, we're just starting, so just take it to a point that feels nourishing for you and your body. And then we'll come out very slowly. Bring your hands to your lower back and lower the spine down. Slowly, slowly support yourself with your hands. Coming back to that L-shaped position, or meeting here if you were doing that already. Legs up towards the sky. And then we'll just bend the knees and come straight into a happy baby. Hands can be around the backs of the knees or around the feet. Let the feet spread, bring the knees wide. Give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. Nice. So for our back bending and for our forward folds, our core strength is going to help support us so much, especially to be strong in our back bends. So begin to hug your belly muscles in, knit your lower rib cage in, and we'll take a bit of a rock along the spine. Feel how your core muscles, so the muscles around the sides of the body and the abdomen, can help you control this movement so that you hover in a little boat position each time you come up. Couple more. And on this last one, land in a boat position, Navasana. Arms out in front of you, legs hovered off the floor. Of course, put your toes down if you need to. If you want more, you can come to a low boat, coming down onto the lower spine, extending the legs. Breathe wherever you are. And then sit back up into a lifted boat position. Bring the feet nice and wide, and we'll sit forward into a yogi squat. So the knees turn out to the sides, toes turn out to the sides, heels at the outer edges of the mat. And if your heels don't reach the mat, just take your hands in front of you. If your heels do reach the mat, focus on pressing the knees out with the elbows and give yourself a little bit of a sway from side to side. Opening up through the lower body. Nice, and then bringing the fingertips to the mat, moving into our first forward folds now. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the hips high, coming to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale here, exhale, sit back down to your little yogi squat, and then move with the breath. As you inhale, fold forward. As you exhale, sit down. This is amazing mobility for the knees, the ankles, the legs. Move with your breath. If you can do it without the hands, I encourage you to try it. And on this last one now, hang out in your forward fold. Take a nice big sway side to side. You can bring the fingertips to the mat and heel toe the feet closer together for a bit of a deeper stretch in the backs of the legs. And just kind of check in with that forward fold. How deep can you go? How much do you need to bend the knees to take this out of the lower back and into the backs of the legs? Remember, it's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels in your body. Keep the lower belly on the thighs. If you can reach the mat, you can try placing your hands either side of the feet and then engaging through the core muscles to bring your body closer to the legs. If you need to keep the knees deeply bent, please do. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lower the hands and we'll walk the feet back towards the back edge of the mat, coming into a downward facing dog. Press the floor away so the shoulders come slightly up towards your ears. Sides of the body are long. You can give the feet a little bit of a pedal out from side to side. Wiggle the hips. Turn the head from side to side. At any point, please take a child's pose if that's what you need. Otherwise, continuing to explore this downward dog, keep pressing through the palms of the hands and the whole surface of all 10 fingers. And then find stillness in your downward dog or in a child's pose. And tuck the chin so the back of the neck is long. Again, like we did before, just resist any temptation to move. A big part of our yoga practice is learning the discipline to stay still, to stay in the positions. Of course, we don't stay through pain or injury, but a little bit of discomfort, it's not going to hurt you. Stay with your breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale now, lower the knees. Sit back to the heels for a child's pose. Anything where our legs are coming towards the body is a forward fold. So even child's pose, this is a forward fold. Give yourself a little sway from side to side. And then from there, rise up to a tabletop position. Again, mobilizing through the spine. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone as you hug your belly towards your spine. Exhale, round the back, press the floor away. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale and round. A couple more. Finding fluidity. One more. Nice. And then coming back to a flat back position, we'll take another nice deep back bend. So walk the hands forward, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, sink the chest down towards the mat for a puppy pose. You can stay tented on the fingers for a little bit of more of an underarm stretch, or plant the palms. If it feels too much to keep looking forward, bring your forehead to the mat. If you're feeling nice and open in the chest, you might be able to bring your chest to the floor. Find your breath wherever you are, however the pose looks today. Breathe length into the sides of the body, breathe openness into the chest. Good, and then from here you can just melt all the way back to a child's pose. Take the hands down by your sides, take a little break. Deep breath in, round out the upper back. Exhale, release. And then when you're ready, reaching forward again, rise up to tabletop. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank position. And then flip onto the tops of the feet. Open up the chest as you lift the thighs for upward facing dog. Look up, exhale, push back to downward dog. Bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, roll forward. Come onto the tops of the feet. Stay strong through the fronts of the legs. Open up to upward dog. Exhale, press back to downward dog. 2 more with your breath. And last one. Very nice. Give yourself a little bit of movement side to side again. And then we'll come forward to plank one more time and lower all the way to the belly. We're going to try a king cobra now. So lift up into a nice open cobra. Hopefully your upper back is feeling a little bit more open now. If this is enough, stay here. Practice squeezing through the upper back. If you would also like to try engaging the backs of the hamstrings and the glutes, you can try kicking your heels towards you, maybe even looking back. You can move in and out with your breath. Really think about the strength for this king cobra position. Maybe you're here, maybe you can reach your toes to your head. Again, we're not relying on the flexibility of the lower back, we're finding openness in the chest. Wherever you are in the pose, hold it and breathe. Exhale, come out. Relax to your belly. Bring your forehead to the hands. Take a moment to be still. And then you can press into the hands and move it back to downward dog again. We'll go back into some forward folding postures now. So step your left foot all the way forward, bring it between the hands. Bring your right knee down. Inhale in this low lunge. Take a couple of full breaths, open up that right hip flexor. And then you can lift off the back knee and straighten that front leg. Step the back foot forward so that you can bring the heel to the mat into a pyramid pose. Inhale, lift the chest, find length. Exhale, bow down. If you need to have your hands on some blocks or books, whatever you have around you, you can take that. We'll move a few times with the breath. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bow forward. 2 more. Last one. Fold over that front leg. You can even hold the back of the ankle or the calf if you can balance there. Keep lengthening your body over that front leg. Keep finding your balance. And again, find stillness. Tuning into that awareness, watching what is happening, watching the mind, watching the body. Knowing the difference between pain that causes injury and just discomfort. Okay, so now plant the hands, step back to downward dog again, and we'll take it on the other side. Right foot will step forward between the hands. Bring your left knee down for a low lunge first of all. Just open up that left hip flexor, gaze up. Good, and then you can lift the back thigh and straighten your front knee for a pyramid position. Breathe into that stretch And then step the back foot forward for the full pyramid pose. Inhale, lift through the spine, square the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift here. Exhale, bow forward. And again, lift and bow forward. And then settle in. Breathe deeply. Maybe wrap the hands around the back of the right ankle if you did that on the other side, or even if you didn't. Very nice. Okay, so from here, just bring your left knee down, bring your right knee down as well. So you're coming to a kneeling position. Good, and sit up. We're going to stand up on the knees. So we'll take a camel pose here, Ustrasana. We'll start by finding a cow tilt. So stick your tailbone back behind you and then bring the hands to the lower back. Open up the chest. So focus on bringing the shoulder blades together and opening the chest up rather than taking this all in the lower back. And then if you would like to go further, you can begin to look to your third eye. So look all the way to the ceiling. Lead with your gaze. Look up and then begin to look back. When you see the wall behind you, press your hips forward. Keep going. And then if you can reach for the heels, do so. Keep pressing the hips forward. So this is all in the upper and mid spine. No pain in the lower back. Wherever you are in the camel pose, breathe. Breathe space into that heart space. If you can now, bring your hands to your heart and come out the same way we came in, back to that tilted pelvis. Eyes lead up, and then we can sit back to the heels. Take a moment. Feel everything settling, feel your spine settle. It's normal to feel a lot of sensation in these deep back bends. Just give yourself a minute to reset. Okay, and when you feel okay, you can come out and bring the soles of the feet towards each other for Backbends, the bound angle pose. So outer edges of the feet come together. Hold onto the feet. Inhale, lift through the top of the head, and then try to hinge forward with a flat back. So you're reaching the chest forward towards the front of the mat, and you can use your elbows to press the thighs open. Okay, and now coming up to a tall spine again. This time we'll go down with a rounded back, so keeping the legs the same, but this time letting the spine round, feeling a slightly different stretch, and again using the arms to press your knees outwards if you can. Open up those hips, those inner thighs. Good, and then we'll come up. You can take your right leg along the mat, left knee stays bent and the foot comes in towards you. Sit tall on the sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward over that right leg. Find that sense of reach with the chest forward. If this is enough, stay here. If you can reach the foot without rounding your back, Then you can fold forehead to knee or forehead to shin. Find your breath, find that steadiness again. Observe the pose, observe how it feels. Another deep breath in. And then exhale, bring yourself back up. And we'll switch to the other side. Left leg goes long, right leg comes bent inside the left leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Fold over that left leg. And again, either stay here or reach for that foot. Remembering to take the variation of the pose that feels right for your body today. Working with the edge of your comfort zone, but never forcing, never ignoring pain, never ignoring what your wiser self knows is right. Remember, it is never the yoga pose that causes injuries. It is the ego that causes injuries. So as long as you are listening to that wiser self rather than the ego, you will be safe. Okay, and now rolling back up. We'll take both legs together now. So you can choose to either just keep the hands by your sides or even reach the peace fingers for the big toes. Sit onto your sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Elbows come outside the legs. Maybe your forehead comes down, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have the knees bent, maybe they're straight. Nice. When you're ready, unroll. Scoot your body along the mat, and then you can peel all the way down to lying on your back. Give your knees a nice big sway from side to side. And then drop into a twist with your knees over on the right side. Take some nice deep breaths into the belly, into that twist. Now on an exhale, bring your knees to the middle, shift your hips over slightly to the right side, and then drop the knees the other way for the twist the opposite direction. When you're ready from here, bring yourself into the middle of the mat. Extend one leg and then the other. Bring your hands alongside you. Let your whole body release out and down. Release any sense of trying. Release any focus on the breath. And allow yourself a couple of minutes of complete stillness. Now beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Turn your head gently from side to side. And if it feels good, stretch the arms back behind you. Point the toes down away from you. And then make your way over to one side. And from there, press yourself up sideways to a seated position. Find a comfortable seat and a tall spine. Come back into your breath. And now I invite you to bring your hands to heart center, to bow your head. Thank yourself for practicing yoga today. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope that you loved this practice, and let me know if you did in the comments, and any requests you have for future videos. I hope you have the most beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe,